Welcome to episode 80.E of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, who's scruffy looking? This guy.
Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's scruffy?
Hey. Tonight on the show, we're concluding our Ladies of the 80s cycle with a lesser-known 80s independent film, George Lucas and Irvin Kershner's The Empire Strikes Back. Before you laugh at me, this movie was for multiple decades the most successful independent film of all time. Stepping on a little trivia right there, it was not eclipsed until 1999 when The Phantom Menace came out. Technically, this is an independent film.
Okay.
None of the
Technically it
bullshit
was.
took
You're
it
right.
over this.
Fully funded by George Lucas.
Yep.
Yeah, before Disney Plus took it over, right?
Before
Yeah.
everything just went to hell.
Yeah.
Joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
Good evening.
Naveen on music and audio production.
Hello, hello.
And Pod Daddy Eric, who will see you in hell.
I know. It works so much better in my head. Hearing it now, I kind of want like a redo. You're supposed to say, and Eric, look, I forgive you for everything shitty that you said on this podcast. I love you.
Okay.
And then I say, I know. That's not what you were planning on saying?
All of our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube channel. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Gentlemen,
I know.
just off the dome. I hate you so much.
Good timing, by the way.
Ding.
Yeah. We
I
are
like that Frank Oz impression there.
fraction away from 25,000 collective views on the YouTube channel. We, a few days ago, passed 6,000 views of our Kung Fu Hustle episode. Congratulations. Amazing. Still have no idea why the fuck that one out of everything that we put out.
We
At
are
this point, I think it's one of those questions. It's not going to be answered.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just let it go, let it ride, and enjoy the wave.
I still agree with John's theory, though.
Mhm.
It's the
fuckboy
fuckboy
intro?
energy. It's the fuckboy energy. It's the
Yeah.
new intro, 20 minutes long, and
Uh-huh.
like that's enough to cover the entire film. People are like,
Right.
yep, that's what I tuned in for.
Right.
That's what I gave the thumbs up for.
And the fuckboy energy.
Right. Andy wearing these pair of glasses that could only be described as little and slutty. It's just it put a certain energy out.
I apply that phrase to so many things in my life. I'm not going to
Little
give
and
examples. Little and slutty. My cat wants like double portions of food. I'm just like, oh, you're little and slutty.
And you will only get a quarter portion. Guys, we're doing it tonight. Finally, the wars. Will there be peace? Will there be Star Peace? No. It's only Star Wars. And somehow it's taken us 150 hours of produced show to get to one of these films that's certainly important to me. Important to, I think, the three of you as well, but important to a lot of people out there on the internet. Really kind of feel that now that everything has just kind of been ruined. But here we are. This was a little bit, I thought, kind of a cool way to wrap up Ladies of the 80s. This was a little bit kind of like a birthday, birthday request for me. We're kind of getting to it like a month after the fact, but still, this is a favorite of all time, and I'm so genuinely excited for the conversation. So let's just kind of dive right into the movie. The Empire Strikes Back, a 1980 science fiction film directed by Irvin Kershner, from a screenplay by Leigh Brackett and Lawrence Kasdan, based on a story by George Lucas. Synopsis in brief: this is pretty much exactly what it's going to look like when we attack Greenland. Anyone else?
I got one.
Sweet.
Synopsis in brief. So, kid, how was it sleeping in a tauntaun? Lukewarm.
Oh man, that was good.
I know that one, but I left that shoes.
Synopsis in brief. Days without a force choking incident. 0.
There's just one guy on the Star Destroyer. He's got a whiteboard, and all he does is just write.
God damn it!
Naveen, you got one?
No, I didn't get anything. Well, I did this little one. Synopsis in brief. You know what would make this better? CGI. More CGI.
This is miracle on top of miracle. This is somehow the one they fucked up the least. It's not egregious.
I think it's
no.
what is
I
it?
will
It's
say
on-
most of the time as I was watching it, I was like kind of trying to remember what was it, because I remember when I watched it the first time they added everything in, and I was picking out every new detail, and it's been so long, and I've seen it so many times since then that I don't even really remember what the original was.
Because even the new stuff looks kind of dated and sort of PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ditto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a synopsis in brief I don't love, but I'm going to do it anyway. The odds of us successfully doing a show about Empire Strikes Back are 3,817 to 1. Never tell me the pods.
Ugh.
Ew. Ew. Go sleep in a tauntaun. The film stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels, David Prowse, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, and Frank Oz. Obviously, commercial success, made for a budget of $30.5 million. It was the highest grossing film of 1980 and the second highest grossing film of the 1980s, estimated to have earned a total of $550 million in the entirety of its total run. So second highest of the 80s. Anybody want to hazard a guess what number one for that decade was?
Wow. If it was 500.
The movie I don't like, and I've remarked on a couple times on the podcast. Came just 2 years later.
1982 then. And you were marked on it, but I don't recall what it is.
Right. A movie that was a hit. I've never understood why it's a hit. I think it's kind of a horror film.
It's kind of a horror film.
And it was made by a very close friend of George Lucas's.
Oh, shit.
Indiana Jones?
Close. Yeah, you're in the ballpark.
E.T.
E.T. the extraterrestrial.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think about 700 million and change.
That is inexplicable to me.
It's same. Interestingly, critical response mixed on release. Many taking issue with the movie's darker ending and themes. This has changed considerably in the following years, with Empire now being considered one of the all-time great American films and one of the all-time best in the science fiction genre. No written review from Roger at the time of its original release, but a 4-star rating for the special edition re-release in 1997. He writes, after the space opera cheerfulness of the original film, this one plunges into darkness and even despair, and surrenders more completely to the underlying mystery of the story. It is because of the emotion stirred in Empire that the entire series takes on a mythic quality that resonates back to the first and ahead to the third. This is the heart. It is a visual extravaganza from beginning to end, one of the most visionary and inventive of all films. So,
how did he not do a review when it first came out? Was he not very busy at that point?
He didn't do a written review. I'm sure it was covered on the TV show that he had at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Critics hated the fact that this movie doesn't really have an ending. They hated the fact there was especially when you kind of look historically, Hollywood trilogies barely existed prior to this, and certainly there was never a version of it where the second one cuts off at a cliffhanger and you got to wait 3 years to see what happens next. Like this did not exist, basically, kind of like prior to Empire.
It's weird because seeing this film, I didn't feel like the way it ends impacted my viewing of it. I did feel that way. However, with the second Back to the Future movie, I remember watching that thinking, how cool is this? I know you didn't see it, but it's all in the future and what's going to happen in the future. And it's like, okay, now they saved the future and they're going to go back in time. But it's like at the very end, it does that cliffhanger thing like the first one did, where it's like, Marty, we got to go back in time to like the Midwest and we got to go save Doc and his family or something like that. And they're like, oh, guess we're going to go back in time again.
So let me correct the record here. I never saw the first Back to the Future. The second one, my parents took me to for my 10th birthday. I had a whole Back to the Future birthday. I got a weird
that one. You're like, I don't care to watch cowboys and Doc dancing at people shooting.
I've actually never seen the third one either. So whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah, don't. It's a piece of shit. Don't worry about it.
So you like Empire?
Come on,
so much.
it's not that bad.
But yeah, so you think about it. Back to the Future Part 2, that ending exists because of Empire. Across the Spider-Verse, maybe one of my favorite movies of all time, that ending also exists because of Empire. Dune Part 2, that ending exists. But like
Spider-Verse, the ending for the second one, that was total bummer. You sit there, you watch 3 hours of the film, you're like, it has to end. And you're like, oh no, there's more.
Right. People literally screamed in my theater when I saw it the first time.
I watched it in the theater twice, and I felt that way both times.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking did it to me again. It's on me.
Empire Strikes Back. Let's before we kind of get into like our history with the thing, or let's start with how was it watching in our mid-40s? Just how was the experience? Just kind of watching it over the past like couple weeks or so for like this podcast.
I'm going to lead off.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead, Naveen. Go ahead.
Oh, no, all right. It's still just as awesome. It's great to watch it. I was a little frustrated with the fact that I thought Disney Plus had released the original theatrical versions on their streaming, but it's not. So this is actually the first time I've seen it since I saw it, these special editions when it came out in the theaters. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going, gotta see them.
Right.
So I did. And this is probably the first time, maybe the second time I've seen them since, because it was like, that was junk. It was not necessary. It was not, didn't help anything. And so anytime I'd watch it, I'd still watch the original theatrical release of it without the added stuff. So other than that, I mean, it was still just so much fun to watch. So much, again, just nostalgia and growing up and even knowing what was going to happen. It was like, this is going to be great. It was great to see the story unfold and just hear that storytelling again, because it actually had been a while since I revisited any of these movies. So just revisiting again was just pure fun and magic in itself. So in a nutshell, that's my thought there.
Naveen, I want you to go first. I actually had a conversation, I believe, with your brother like a few months back, but he was saying that, just this childhood memory that, just like the three of you had of kind of going out during the winter on a Saturday when it was like snowy, going out sledding, coming back in, and immediately you would run one of the three Star Wars movies as a way to kind of like come down and unwind.
I don't remember that stuff, but maybe we most likely did. We watched those quite often. And I don't know if we'll once we get big and Eric doesn't have to worry about losing his job. Maybe
it was my job.
Maybe maybe
Is
we'll
the
get
Spotify gonna steal it from me?
Maybe I'll get in trouble for this, but we had it copied on VHS and we'd just watch it. All three.
Yeah. Andy, how about yourself?
So, first of all, I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan. I always will be, in spite of the fact that I haven't loved a lot of the newer stuff. Actually, I haven't loved a lot of the stuff since Phantom Menace. There's been some good stuff, but for the most part, I've been kind of underwhelmed by a lot of it. That being said,
it's probably a whole nother podcast we should do it at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I will say this time around, and I blame maybe it's because it's the end of January into February. Maybe I'm depressed. I don't know what it is, but I just didn't get the joy watching it this time as I normally do. It was really kind of a bummer for me. Like I finished watching it last night before I went to bed, and I was like, yeah, I still love that movie. I will see it 100 times again before I die. But I walked away a little bit like it was kind of slow, and it was kind of, like I talk about this a little bit later on too. So I'll leave that for later. But yeah, I still enjoyed it because I still have all those old memories of watching it a million times and, loving it as a kid and having all the toys and, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, this particular watch for me was a little bit underwhelming.
Right.
I kind of agree with you there a little bit. It wasn't underwhelming for me. I loved it. But yes, the whole time on Hoth, I felt it was kind of slow. I'm like, all right, this needs to move a little bit faster for me.
Yeah.
But once they got off of Hoth, it was just like, boom, it just flew by.
Maybe that was it.
This movie releasing in 1980, same as The Four of Us.
Yeah.
Those of you want to be technical about, but this is a to kind of speak to the maybe a little bit of the intrinsic slowness, Andy, that you're describing. This is a film that's closer to 50 years old than to 40.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
It doesn't hit that that sweet spot we talk about of 90 minutes. It's actually, obviously longer.
Yeah,
2 hours and 4 minutes. If it was released today, it would be like 3 hours and probably 40.
Yep.
Yep.
Like a certain Avatar sequel that will go unnamed.
I just want to call that out here, but Andy shot first. We have it on record.
Right.
True.
That's
true.
Took a shot at Empire. I don't know if it's slow or not. I was enjoying the dialogue and the interactions between the characters so much that I was fully invested in the film. I don't watch it yearly. I probably watch it every few years. I'll watch the original trilogy. The episodes 1 through 3, I think I've seen each of them maybe a couple times. Not my favorites to go back to, but I rewatched all 6 movies a couple years back, and I actually enjoyed the original 3. I mean, not just the original, saying original 3. I enjoyed 4 through 6, of course, but I also enjoyed 1 through 3, which I didn't think I would. Putting it all together as a full thing, I think it works really well. But again, I think it's once you accept what it is. But this one is, of all 6 movies, after rewatching everything, I like 6 for some stupid reason. There's a lot I like about 6, but the dialogue really got to me in this one, and I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, what is it? It's like every time where they cut to a different scene, they end with some kind of like witty or memorable quip or something like that. Right. And I love that because it's just like it leaves you with something. And I did watch this I have it on Blu-ray, so I watched it with the comments. And I love how they were saying some of these scenes, they kept doing them over and over and over again. They're just like preparing because they want them to be perfect. So they're working with the actors on it. And there'd be the scene where it'd be like, Leia's like, I love you to Han. And he's like, I know. But they would go over it over and over and over again. So all like the people working on the film would say it, like repeat it. And then after they had filmed it, they'd all be joking about it and stuff like that, because it's just like, and to think that it's sticking for them, but they also know that the people that watch it, these are going to be things that will just for like time.
They sort of went into this knowing that like the first one was such a phenomenon and such a cultural event, and you get the sense reading about it or kind of looking at commentary stuff that they were careful about making this movie because they knew this was going to be this had the potential to be like a very, very big deal.
Yeah, and also Lawrence Kasdan, I didn't realize he also wrote the script for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Toy Story 3, The Force Awakens, wildly accomplished. We can kind of get into all that backstory, but
but I'm like, what is it about this film? It's just so well written. On top of, I mean, I don't need to talk about the action. Everything holds up. All of it holds up. It does not need any CGI makeover. I think it was a perfect film in itself. There's actually extra scenes that they cut out with like hijinks with Wampas.
Yeah,
should have left it in.
a lot of
Should've
Wampa
left it
stuff. Like there's a scene of like Leia and Han having a fight, and he's just kind of rushing past her in a hallway, and he literally just like this woman is a foot and a half shorter than him. They're fighting. He literally just picks Carrie Fisher up, moves her out of the way, and just continues down the hall yelling.
It's a cute scene. They should have left that in.
They should have left
That would have been great.
They have this one where it's on Hoth. This is like at the end of the fight, and Darth shows up with stormtroopers, and they're chasing after Han and Leia and C-3PO, and they're running down the hall, and then C-3PO sees like a sign on the. I guess it's supposed to be a Wampa warning sign on the door, so he just stops, removes it, and then keeps going on. And then the stormtroopers run up. They stop. They see the door. They push it. It opens up.
A big hairy arm pops out.
Arm comes out, grabs the stormtrooper, pulls him in. The door shuts, and then you can just hear noises. And Darth Vader just shows up, breathing, and then they just keep going on.
Let me digress very, very slightly. I was very fortunate a few years back to be there for with Eric and his older son for like the first Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, that his older son watched in like the theaters. And we're kind of chilling out, like, and just you know, we're in the seats ahead of time, waiting for the movie to start. And Eric starts, they had watched the original Star Wars, and Eric started quizzing his son Caleb about about what happened in the Star Wars movie, and it became very obvious very, very quickly that Caleb had just no memory of Star Wars whatsoever about what happened in the original one. So what Caleb did, the most Eric thing I have ever seen a human being do in just my entire life, which is he started, rather than saying, I don't really remember the movie that well, he just started making up a Star Wars movie just off the top of his head and describing it to the two of us. And I was just entranced by the entire thing. So he's describing this movie to us. I'm like, so Caleb, then what happened? He's like, well, Luke is in Darth Vader's office, and he's trying to find the papers. I'm like, what papers? He's like, Star Wars papers. Yeah. And so then all of a sudden, then Darth Vader comes in. I go, oh no. And Luke hides behind the desk, and then Darth Vader goes, hey, what's going on?
Hey, who put my lightsaber in that Jello mold?
It's so just talking to like sort of my kind of personal impressions a little bit. The prequels, the more recent Star Wars stuff, probably another episode. The prequels, probably like another episode. That I've seen the clip of literally of C-3PO kind of ripping that sign off a door and kind of tricking the stormtroopers into kind of getting ambushed by Yetis. But you know, if Lucas had been the one actually directing this movie, that scene not would have only been in there, but been like 5 minutes long and probably cost like $100 million. So like actually,
agreed. Yeah.
What was remarkable to kind of me kind of watching, because you know this is certainly similar, I think, to kind of Andy and Eric. This is only a film I watch at once every kind of 7 or 8 years. What's frustrating and fascinating about being a Star Wars fan is I think you're always kind of like, you look at the prequels, which are not great movies, but I always argue they're kind of bad movies in really, really interesting ways, because Lucas is a crazy person. And you know, this famously, out of everything, and coming close to like 5 decades now of everything that's been produced in kind of the Star Wars universe, I think this is the one that kind of gets just like the most stuff right. And I think it's the fact that you have Irvin Kershner, who was more famous for kind of sort of 60s and 70s films like The Eyes of Laura Mars, The Return of a Man Called Horus, like a very talented naturalist 60s and 70s director who knew how to kind of shoot dialogue, how to shoot emotions, how to shoot relationships between men and women. I think like the story, there's a lot of goofy Star Wars bullshit, but you also had Lee Brackett, who was a very accomplished science fiction writer, and Lawrence Kasdan, like a very, very talented screenwriter. First draft came from Brackett. The second draft of this film came from George Lucas. The third draft came from like a kind of cleanup by Kasdan. Lucas was behind the scenes. He was figuring out the special effects. He was figuring out like the creature and the spaceship designs and doing everything else. What was really kind of interesting, exciting to me is just kind of looking at this through the lens. It just I'm just constantly, why does this work? Why does this look so good? Why does this have like a lot of sci-fi, Buck Rogers, kind of Lucas nonsense in it? But why is it still so emotional? Why is it still beautiful? Why does it still kind of just hold together as well as it does? I had a great time kind of watching this movie, but it took me 3 separate nights because I would watch it for 20 minutes. I'd pause it. I'd spend like an hour just kind of putting like notes down. So I had kind of really just kind of great time like swinging back to this.
Something that also hurts me watching this is how cold Hoth looks. I mean, we grew up in New England, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I hate snow even more than I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And then just seeing how cold they are and how much snow there is, I'm like, who's gonna clean all that up?
It was real snow too.
They filmed all of this in Norway in the middle of winter. Like the scene of Luke running out of the Wampa cave is literally, they had a freak snowstorm in downtown Oslo. That footage is literally of Luke of Mark Hamill just running out of the hotel that they were staying at. They didn't really.
I heard what was it for the scene where Han Solo's out there trying to get like Luke and the Tauntaun.
Yeah.
That's because they knew the storm was going on, so they're like, we got to get him out there.
Right.
And so Harrison Ford, they had to get to fly him out while the storm was still going on. And he arrived like late at night, and then they just dragged him out there. Like, okay, we got to film this before the storm stops.
So how the level of stress and Harry he's probably like a big chunk of kind of what is kind of going through his head in his real life.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was such a fantastic, like all those shots. I mean, you can't get anything like that nowadays. Everything's all, again, it's all CGI that's been added there to make it look like there's snow. Like nobody takes any risks. It's all about just getting quick results. And it's like, how much does snow cost versus like CGI snow versus us waiting for
let's fly everybody to Atlanta and film like in that warehouse that they call the Volume, and let's just kind of CGI everything like in after the fact.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what too, like whenever I think of Star Wars, just randomly think of Star Wars, one of the first images that comes into my mind is Hoth. Without fail. I mean, the however many movies and TV shows and books and whatever else, the thing that pops into my head is that first scene when they're on Hoth and the big AT-ATs.
AT walkers. That was my first. I wanted that as a kid. Never got it. The first time I actually bought like a Star Wars Lego set, I had to pick one up.
Yeah.
And it's still. They don't stand very well at all. It constantly falls over.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So not very practical.
Design.
I mean, I might as well show it off now, but shout out to Papa for the birthday present that he sent me.
Speaking of AT walkers that are shitty, this one's great.
It's a gingerbread version.
Yeah, I know.
Fewer people are just sort of luckier than friends with me, but this is the gingerbread Lego AT walker, including gingerbread Darth Vader kind of riding at the top of it.
So good. I want one of those so bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
The legs, 3 different points of articulation. You can kind of do whatever sort of dynamic pose that you want for this thing.
It's got the Christmas lights on the outside.
Yeah.
It opens too.
Yeah.
You can open up and see the like the little kind of setup that he has inside there with like little kind of like with the wreaths and the stockings and like the little kind of mug of tea that he has like lying
got a little fireplace.
So good. So good.
And Darth Vader also holding a cookie.
Holding a lightsaber and a little cookie.
He's the same color as gingerbread. He's got the tape and everything. Looks cookie-licious.
Yeah.
As a cookie.
I gotta get one.
Yeah.
That was a tough buy.
I bet.
Dude, I pre-ordered that and then they canceled it right after I pre-ordered it. And then I got notified like a couple days before Christmas. Hey, we got them in. We're gonna send them to you now.
People kept calling Eric to tell him his order was canceled, and he just kept like force choking them for the phone.
I'm on Lego.com right now, and it says so it's $59.99 today at least. It's only on back order, and it says it will ship in 60 days.
Oh wow. 2 months.
Yeah.
Let's go to how does watching this as an adult compare to your memory of watching Empire as a kid? And I'd like to kick this off. This was the scary Star Wars movie to me.
Exactly.
I literally, I think in terms of just how brave I got for kind of being able to watch non-G-rated, non-animated stuff. New Hope was like the first thing that I kind of got to, but there was so much scary shit for me when I was little. And Empire, it took me a while to kind of work up to it. I was able to get through the Wampa stuff. Yetis still, the idea Yetis still kind of freaked me out to this day. I was able to get through like the Dagobah stuff but the Cloud City lightsaber duel is still, I think, kind of holds up amazingly as something genuinely crazy and terrifying. Even this day, I'm watching and just go like, this is incredibly intense.
Well, you think too, you're like, okay, Darth Vader, he died. There was the initial part of the fight scene where you're like, okay, I forget what happened. Knocked off. But you're like, he's gone, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then just out of fucking nowhere, Luke's walking around, everything's really quiet.
Right.
And then he just pops out from behind something with his lightsaber ready to strike him. You're like, I told you I watched that one with my younger son and he jumped at that scene. Did not expect that. I was the same. I'm just like, it just feels so intense. You're like, this shit's for keeps. Like this is the real. You think that's going to be the final fight scene with Darth and Luke, and to know that there's another one coming, it's awesome.
Right.
So I kind of alluded to it before, but it definitely moved. The movie moves a lot more slowly than I remembered it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. It's just not an action-packed, type of movie. There are parts, pockets of action, but there's also a lot of dialogue and there's a lot of character.
Right. It's a chase movie for a big part of it. And they're on to a new part of the chase every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. So it really surprised me, as I was looking at it more analytically this time, watching it as I have probably in previous times, knowing that we were going to talk about this, it surprised me that I liked this movie as much as I did as a kid.
Right.
Because, when you're whatever, I forgot how old I was when I first saw it, but probably, definitely single digits. The fact that I was enthralled with a movie that had so much character building and so much kind of downtime and slow movement and whatever, it surprised me. And it also made me wonder, and it's actually, I wish I had thought to do this prior to the pod tonight, but I want to talk to my parents about what their impression of these movies was when they first saw them, because they were obviously adults when they came out.
Right.
What did they think about it? I know that they both love Star Wars.
What did they think about it, and how do they feel about introducing their their only child?
Was
it something that you would ask for, or that would be a great conversation, actually.
Yeah, so I think I might try to go back and do that, and maybe I'll report back in a future pod. But at any rate, it was a very different experience watching it as an adult than certainly as a kid. But I got different things out of it that I probably went way over my head as a kid. I will say one thing that jumped out at me, I guess, pardon the pun or the expression, was when Luke got knocked into the carbonite freezing chamber during the final fight scene, and then he jumps out, and there's no precedent, as far as I can recall, set that a Jedi has the ability to jump like at 100 miles an hour,
30 feet up in
the air, and then all of a sudden he just goes streaking back behind.
Right.
And like, I don't remember that kind of registering with me as a younger person. I just thought, oh, that's a guy jumping out. He's a Jedi, he can jump. But last night I was like, when did we establish that he was superhuman on top of?
They show him kind of doing some flippy flips and kind of standing just doing what I heard described on like another podcast is like Yoda yoga.
Yeah, but he doesn't jump 30 feet.
He doesn't do like kind of like this kind of John Woo kind of Crouching Tiger sort of wire work kind of thing.
Right. I don't think you realize Luke was training with Yoda for like 15 years. Like he's got all kinds of funky shit. So I mean, you say it was going slow, but I mean,
right.
Ton of time went by.
I also I wanna ask maybe two questions. We don't have to spend a ton of time, and forgive my, maybe I'm an ignorant Star Wars fan because I haven't done, I don't study this shit. I haven't dug way deep into it or whatever. But
ask away, my friend. I'm
That's
ready.
clear.
Yeah, I know. First of all, was it always episode 4, 5, and 6, even when it first released? Did they ever
Yes.
Because I obviously
Lucas
that
from
one
the drop conceived it as a 9-part story. He had 1 through 3 in a form in his head before he started filming New Hope.
I feel like it wasn't called out like episode 4 in the title until later.
Yes.
Or even called A New Hope. It wasn't. I don't think episode 4 was called A New Hope until they did the special.
It was just
that does sound right. That does. Sound
I
right.
guess that's kind of what I'm referring to. Yeah, because I don't remember, until they did the re-release in the late 90s. I don't think it ever registered with me that there were episodes and that this was that there was a backstory that was going to be coming, and then maybe eventually
there was always a version of that, but it wasn't really until the 90s. But just production was kind of underway for the prequels by the mid 90s. So the special editions were kind of the point where they tried to really hammer it home. This is 4, 5, and 6 of a 9-part story.
Yeah. I would like to just say right now, I am anti prequel. I think prequels are stupid, and I'm against them. Just throwing that out there. And I can't think of a single example that makes me feel otherwise.
Let's see what happens with the weapons prequel.
With Gladys?
Gladys.
Beyond Letterboxd, 5 out of 5, masterpiece. I did not realize how much I needed this.
That's what I want. I want to hear Andy say those words.
I don't think that's going to happen. And then the second, I guess, takeaway that I have, and this is just maybe on a quicker basis or whatever, is that I think what made these 3 movies, the original 3, so damn good, and what I think has made me lukewarm on the rest of it, is these ones, they took themselves seriously, but not too seriously.
Sure.
They, there was a bit of comedy. There was a bit of, kind of campiness to it. There was a bit of hokiness to it.
Bit of romance, bit of sexiness, bit of kind of like
a little bit of everything. Yeah. Whereas like the prequels, they couldn't be drier. Like they're basically Star Wars, let's watch legislation take place kind of thing.
They couldn't be more removed from the concept of how actual emotions and romance happen between.
And they're too slick, and they're too, again, this is a conversation for another time, but watching it last night made me appreciate just how much I love those original movies, especially when you compare to everything else that's come since.
Right. And again, this is my point, like 2 other screenwriters, Kershner directing, Gary Kurtz, the producer that worked for the first 2.5 of the Star Wars movie, very, very famous for kind of keeping some of like Lucas's kind of just utter bullshit kind of reined in like a little bit. This was the right crew. This is the you had a talented group of people that was really just able to figure out a balance that what one could argue has not really been kind of figured out since then.
Nope.
I gotta ask something. Andy, Jar Jar didn't make you laugh, Andy? Jar Jar wasn't funny, Andy?
Andy, oh
no, Andy.
You know what? Hot take. I don't get all the Jar Jar hate.
Same. He's grown on me over the years.
I love how the actor wanted to kill him. That's not nice, but I guess he got so much shit mail that he wanted to kill himself. The guy that did the voice for Jar Jar. That everybody grew up. They rewatched the original movie. They realized there was so much nostalgia for it.
Right.
And then also, I guess Jar Jar was in like the Clone Wars TV show, and he had this full arc, and everybody's like, you know what? fuck that. Jar Jar was a great character after all. And all these people
really
are
got reclaimed by the
apologizing
younger
to him.
generation. Like after,
And then they made him an actual Jedi. The guy, the voice actor, they brought him on. I don't remember
the
which
third season
one
of
it was.
Mandalorian. Like he has like
I
there's
think
a
it was. Yeah.
Baby Yoda. He basically sort of escorts Baby Yoda off Coruscant after Order 66 happens.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Devine, how about yourself? Sort of childhood comparisons?
I mean,
Did
definitely.
you want to go sledding?
Yeah, of course. Always.
Go to Norway.
Yeah, I would love to go there. So eventually I'll go to Hoth. So as a kid, just loved it, getting entranced, wanting to be Luke Skywalker or Han Solo and acting that stuff out. Maybe had a couple of figurines from that time and just loved every part of it. Always wanting to have the Force and trying to get the Force in some way or another.
I still do that shit when the remote's out of reach. Of just
yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So it's always great to watch it. As I mentioned before, it just didn't need the extra scenes for these special editions. They really didn't add anything to it. I think it kind of did take away from it just because you could tell the difference from when it would go to that CGI from when it was this actual practical thing that they built and made.
Stop motion or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And they took the time to do that. So it kind of looked out of place, but again, really wasn't needed. It didn't.
But again, Empire is the least guilty out of like the three of the movies. Far and
yeah. I'm curious what they actually changed. I think it was mostly around Cloud City. Just all the scenes around Cloud City where they had windows and you could see outside the city. And
everything with like a spaceship is like a CGI render. Like that's a big part of it. But it was just kind of clean up and improving the soundtrack and everything else. Like there's very little. There's no bringing Jabba the Hutt back in like the first part of New Hope. There's this weird dance.
He has like a 3-foot tail or something.
So
and Harrison Ford steps on. He's like, oh,
yeah, and so yeah, it was great. I mean, I think even the Wampum scene. I'm saying the name wrong.
Wampa.
Wampa. I don't think there was as much viewing of him in the original.
There's another 7 seconds of just the Wampa just looking at his arm cut off, and
that one. And they don't show him feeding in the original, do they?
They do. No, they don't.
I don't think so.
Yeah. That is correct. You barely see the Wampa in the original cut, which I think makes it considerably more terrifying. You just kind of see.
And I thought that was
pieces.
I like that much better.
It's a weird choice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you feel sympathy for the Wampa, but I mean, you shouldn't feel sympathy for the Wampa.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch the Robot Chicken sketch that I posted on the group chat of Luke is kind of filling up his X-Wing at a gas station? And the one-armed Wampa pulls up, like this junker truck, and he keeps on trying to fill gas up like his spaceship, but because he only has one arm, he keeps on dropping his credit card. He's driving like a standard, and it's just he realized he kind of pulled in the wrong direction, and the tank's on the other side.
That's great.
It's one of the funniest goddamn things they've ever done on that show.
Nice. So just kind of continuing on. Things I probably noticed more as an adult was the Walker scene. You know, they're like, the armor's too strong, our blasters can't take it. All right, all we have to do is knock it down, then shoot it with our blasters, and it'll blow up. It's like, okay.
The fact that it trips and it's all of a sudden then I get that.
So that was one scene I noticed. The other scene was still in Hoth, where Luke is running out from the cave, and he's like, "Oh, I'm dying," and Obi-Wan shows up. He's like, "Luke, you got to go to Yoda and go to the Dagobah system." He's like, "Dude,
right?
Can't you help me survive this?
Now
I need help first."
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess the last thing is, as Andy mentioned, looking at it more analytically to look at this. I wanted to take a look more at the Luke arc. And seeing every time he met with Darth Vader, who was the one to strike first or draw their saber first, to see how they were progressing his character and with the Jedi Force and all that stuff.
Naveen, before we get to that, quick question for like the three dads on the panel. Did Luke kind of have like a little kid trying to punch above his weight thing in like the first part of the first duel? He does like 3 moves against Vader, gets the lightsaber knocked out of his hand. He backs up a little bit, reaches down, picks it back up. Vader's just kind of standing there, and Luke is like, "Huh?
Take your time, son. Catch your breath. I mean, kid."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Naveen,
So-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, so those were my views. As you know, I loved it as a kid, just getting lost in that world, that fantasy world. Still love it now, but most likely because I'm looking through that nostalgia lens of just how much I loved it, and yeah, continued enjoying it.
Right. An interesting thing about like the for this viewing, I paid a lot of attention to the fight choreography. I read a thing on Reddit like a few years back that points out Darth Vader is really going at 10% for the majority of that lightsaber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a dad trying to be patient with his kid. It's a cat kind of toying with a mouse like a little bit, and you don't see until like the final thing on that suspension bridge. Luke, he's getting more and more desperate, and he gets in a hit. He sort of kind of slices like Vader's arm. Vader yells, immediately sort of goes full throttle, does like kind of like a twirly thing, boom. Luke's arm like immediately like popped off after that. I was wondering if that's something like the rest of you guys kind of clocked like watching this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about the fighting that really jumped out at me is, again, not to continue to compare it to future stuff, but the fighting in the prequels, and certainly moving forward into the the sequel trilogy or whatever they call those, and certainly the TV shows and everything, is the fighting is just so slick and it's so advanced, and it's so, martial arts mixed with, whatever else. And it's much more quaint in the original trilogy. It's much more just sword fighting than it is like full body, flipping around and doing all that kind of stuff.
They didn't have like Hong Kong choreography. Yeah.
And there's something about that I just find way more enjoyable to watch, maybe just because I feel like I could also maybe do it, and I definitely can't. Although that being said,
especially like the fight kind of looks like two old men trying to hit each other with their canes.
Yeah. I think that's endearing to me. I like that. I'm gonna go on record and saying I like that. Yeah, that's my take.
Right.
I want to say the thing, I didn't pick up on that too much, like with the fight with Darth Vader and Luke. The thing I picked up on that was actually, I laughed out loud, was when Luke's just like, all right, well, I guess cut off my hand, fuck it. And then he just jumps down, like open, whatever it is, falling. And you're like, and in my head, I'm like, wait, is this when he drops down on like the Millennium Falcon? I'm like, oh no, that comes afterwards. I'm like, wait, where's he gonna go? And he just drops down this like chute, like this little off ramp or whatever. He's like,
into a chute. Yeah.
And then
I had forgotten about that too.
In my
How did you
head,
know that was going to happen?
Right.
What the fuck? Like, is that part of his 15-year training? Like, all right, I'm going to drop you like 300 feet, and you just got to find some way to survive.
He must have known from his upbringing and his jobs, that he was in some kind of
like wind tunnel and
yeah.
It could be like a Jedi mind trick where he's like waving in front of Darth Vader, and he's just like, I just jumped off the side and did some badass shit. And he's just like
waving with the one hand, like the other is kind of offline for.
Yeah, the other one he's just kind of flapping around in the air, like scratching the side of his head.
There's a lot in this movie about being eaten, things being kind of inside other things just kind of falling into pits, falling into holes. There is.
Sounds very sexual, by the way.
I just like sleeping inside the compound, or R2 getting swallowed by that swamp monster, or the Millennium Falcon ending up in like the giant asteroid field worm, or Luke falling into the like the big kind of cloud city thing, but also him falling into the kind of like the carbonite chamber. It's gonna, this movie keeps coming back to kind of themes of being choked, being eaten, or being dismembered. Like it's a weird thematic thing they kind of swing back to over.
There's also like no sex scenes in this film, which I think would have
Well,
greatly added to that, and then maybe taken some of that stuff in the
Probably
context.
a good thing they didn't do any sex scenes, considering the kiss scene. They might have taken that too far.
I love you. I know. Don't kiss me on the mouth. Let's do
it.
Could I ask? So how does like the big famous romance of this, which I've heard a lot of people sort of say, is just kind of one of the like the hottest, most emotionally charged romances that's ever kind of been put on film. Like, how did the Leia and Han dynamic sort of read to you guys, like on this particular watch?
Definitely as an adult.
That was
you could,
big dick energy right there. He just leaned in, like he, and she. That's the great thing too. You see it. She's fighting like everything that she knows up to that point, and her like. She's a prince. She's whatever. She is a galactic princess, and she's considered royalty,
also a military leader. She's like, I cannot get distracted by dick.
It brings me back to watching the Zelda cartoon, where Link he's just really trying to get into Zelda's pants so bad. And then he's like, oh, I smell Moblin in the morning. And she's like, what did you say? And he's like, well, excuse me, princess. But I wouldn't turn that away.
Naveen, anything to add there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just watching as adult, being, I guess, more cognizant of that.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of tension and love and something going on there that happened that we didn't know happened between A New Hope and Empire.
That's a big one. I spent so much time writing about how much were they actually fucking before this movie, and when did they start fucking again off screen over the course.
So, but as a kid watching it, it was like, I don't care about that stuff, and it really didn't faze me, or it wasn't something I noticed.
Right.
But yeah, now as an adult watching it, it's like, oh yeah, they were getting it on pretty early for a while.
Because they just look like the whole movie they wanted to either kill each other or crawl into each other's skin, sleep inside each other like a tauntaun.
Yeah,
maybe they're that just a good actors.
No, something I never clocked until this particular viewing was that when Leia is trying to make Han jealous, and she gives Luke a big old kiss in the sickbay. You can see this in background. 3PO comes running up to watch it. Like he's in the background. He realizes the kitsch. He realizes Luke and Leia, and he just goes, he's just, his whole body language like, oh, what a messy bitch.
Correct me if I'm wrong too, but 3PO knows, right?
He had his mind technically erased at the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was R2D2 knows still, and he's just
R2D2 is aware of anybody. He's just a dick. Aware of everything. He's just like a dick.
Yeah. He's just like he's like make sure you use protection. Luke's like, dude, that's filthy.
Well, we can kind of get behind. We can get into kind of like sort of trivia sort of later at the end of this.
What that droid's eye saw.
Compared to New Hope, a movie that has like such a conventional 3-act movie structure, like it's literally kind of used in film, in kind of film class to say this is the most kind of classical old school way that you make a adventure story like this. Act 1 is the first quarter. Act 2 is like the middle half. Something happens right at the midpoint. They really accelerates anything. Like Act 3 is in the it's like the back quarter of the thing where everything is kind of resolved. Empire is kind of weird. Like there's 2 parallel stories. It's incredibly dark. Like the heroes are on their back foot the entire time. The only bit of good luck that they have, I think, like the entire movie, is the very last, like R2 fixes the hyperdrive, everything is about to collapse, and they sort of pop off in hyperspace. And fundamentally, it's just a film where the good guys lose. Like just everything is bad. I've heard even kind of an interesting kind of theory that Empire, that there's a way to read it where Darth Vader is actually like the main character of the story, because he just kind of goes on a journey. he has setbacks, but eventually he gets like sort of more or less everything that he wants, like over like the course of the story. Why does Empire work in spite of that? Why is it not just work, but why is it considered one of the absolute kind of best of these things? And it's just in kind of like, despite the structural strangeness that it has to it.
I think it gives the Star Wars world some actual weight. You know, it shows that heroes can make mistakes. Those mistakes have consequences. They can hurt. Like I said before, it takes the story and the world very seriously by letting the character development and growth sort of drive the plot. Instead of just making it a big, shoot 'em up lightsaber fight kind of thing. Vader becomes a person instead of just being a monster.
Right.
And
he
the
has
final
wants, and he has kind of setbacks, and he has things that he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah. And then like the final revelation, of being Luke's father, it totally reframes the entire, story to that point, and not just of that movie, but everything that came before it as well. Like, it really, it throws a curveball at you that you don't see coming. I don't think people, because everybody knows that Vader is Luke and Leia's father now. Everybody knows that now. Yeah. But at the time, like,
it was a massive, like people in the movie, David Prowse did not actually know that Vader was Luke's father, because they kept everything. They filmed multiple versions of that scene. James Earl Jones and Mark Hamill were the only ones that actually got sort of clued into the line is going to be, "No, I am your father," in the way that they actually produced this. The line that Darth Vader had was, "No, Obi-Wan actually killed your father," and that's what I thought everybody was actually reacting to.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that
this is something I love about the movies, right? I mean, how many people do you guys know? Sorry to cut you off, but how many people do you know that haven't seen Star Wars ever?
It just doesn't exist. Yeah.
Like a handful of people, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you came into it now and you're like, okay, where do I start with Star Wars? And you don't ask for anybody's help. You're like, I'll just start at episode 1 because that's what makes sense. Right. Imagine what we went through seeing this as like kids finding out, like, oh my God, Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's dad. It's like a huge reveal. But imagine watching it from episode 1 all the way to episode 5. By the time you get to episode 5, then you're like, he's like, Luke, I'm your father. And you're like,
yeah,
okay,
we know.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
Hello. It wouldn't be the same at all. It would change your whole thought about the movie.
And that's why prequels are bullshit.
Right. Trivia or random observations? Any Vigo's toes, or just anything that you noticed in the movie you thought was fun?
I've got so much. so much.
Let me just say up top, hello, what have we here? Is crazy. It's a kind of confidence only a very handsome man wearing a cape can actually have. Because you actually go online and you're like, that's misogynistic and goofy and insane. And then like the first 1,000 comments on any YouTube video of that is just like, Billy D was so cool back in the day.
I think you probably have to have 2 or 3 Colt 45s before you can do that.
Yeah. Trivia or random observations? Who wants to go?
Also, random observation. Any guy that's named Dak is gonna fucking die within 5 minutes of being introduced. Dak, hey Dak, how you doing back there? Not so good, Luke. And I gotta really take
like the red shirts of Hoth. He's like, I feel like I take on the whole empire, and just dead.
Look, I'm gonna use the money from this battle of Hoth to pay for my family and.
Is that a movie that's fundamentally about like having too much confidence?
Dak, big dick energy, Dak.
Big Dak energy.
Big Dak energy. All right. Trivia. I got trivia. I don't know. I didn't know this, and then I asked my parents about this, and they're like, "Yeah, everybody knew this." And again, it's probably because we were like 0 or 1 years old. But Mark Hamill had a big car accident. I didn't even realize that. broke his nose, busted up his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that they changed the script at the beginning where the Wampa actually strikes him in the face.
Right.
And then they show a scene afterwards where his face is kind of like cut up and bloody, but
right.
none of those cuts on his face are actual scars from his surgeries that they did to rebuild his nose and face.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of added makeup on top of them, so they weren't kind of like exploiting what he already had.
Right.
But the best part about that scene, right, is I'm watching the commentary. I'm listening to the commentary when I'm watching it, and Carrie Fisher comes on, of all people, and she's like, "It was so amazing. Like the writers, they went and they were helping Luke out because he was self-conscious about his scars and stuff like that.
Right.
But the thing that kind of blew me away is he didn't like break any teeth at all. He didn't even chip a tooth when he had the car accident.
Like a handsome, perfectly sort of just it doesn't really kind of jump out like in any substantial way. Kind of watch the movie of like,
it doesn't.
He got fucked up at all. Yeah.
But have you seen like all these weird fan theories? People going down the rabbit hole where they're like Mark Hamill's actually killed in the accident and they replaced him with another actor.
What?
Yeah.
Come
on, man. It's on 4chan. You don't go on 4chan?
Reddit,
No.
Reddit, Star
It's like
Wars
the new Reddit
needs to be its entire own like podcast episode.
They have people that have like they were like, this was his stunt double.
Right.
Mark Hamill's stunt double, and they're showing side by sides where like if he had surgery, and I'm like, okay, sure.
Well,
sure.
the fascinating one always to me, and there's a lot backing this up, is the idea that Jar Jar Binks was originally supposed to be the Count Dooku character.
No way.
That he was supposed to actually be the apprentice, the real apprentice Sith that was sort of kind of lying in wait like this entire time.
It's not me, I swear, guys. It's not me. Who wants to go for pizza? Jedi's like pizza.
I got a smile from Andy. Not nothing. Other trivia or just kind of random observations?
Can I ask you? Oh, go ahead, Naveen.
No, you got it. You got it.
I want to ask a question, and again, I guess this is showing my showing the fact that I'm not really entrenched in Star Wars lore. But of course, they all start with a long time ago in a galaxy far away, and
far away.
Far away. And do they ever? How long ago? How far away are these guys? Humans? Are they? What are they?
The intro
is 800 years.
Set up that the idea that this is a myth, that this is supposed to be sort of mythical, fundamental fucking tale of Gilgamesh kind of hero's journey storytelling.
That's a good point. Once upon a time.
Yeah, there we exactly. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I guess.
Good job.
You just got served.
Yeah. Daveen, you usually got good trivia, like anything for you?
Yeah, I thought a couple of cool things there. The scenes where Luke Skywalker was getting his lightsaber through the Force, they actually do that. They filmed it with him throwing the lightsaber and just reversed it, so it'd come back to him.
Oh, that's really
Cool. I thought that was really cool.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then another one with Mark Hamill is that he did all of his stunts aside from falling in Cloud City. So he's kind of like a little Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise.
Oh, sure.
And then the other one is I didn't really know was that Harrison Ford was done with Han Solo. He was like, this character's got to die. I don't want to play him anymore.
Right.
After Empire. So he was George Lucas was able to get him to compromise. Be like, we'll put you in carbonite, and then if you decide to come back, we can just unfreeze you.
Interesting. So there would have been a possibility he just stays in carbonite the entire time, or like they thaw him out like in Jedi, like he's freezer burned.
Right, something.
That piece of ginger root that you left in like the freezer for 6 months. He's just like, we can't cook with this.
I read online about that because I'm like, what's like carbonite freezing? I've never heard of that before. Was that a popular thing they were doing movies at the time? And apparently it's unbeknownst to me, it's all fiction. Like none of it's real. It's just a made up thing. Like carbonite's not real. You can't carbonite freeze people, but they had some scientists talking about it online. and he's just like, yeah, none of it's real. He's like, even if you were able to do that with this like make believe material, if you froze the human body and then you tried to thaw the human body, like your like veins and capillaries would like again they would
immediately everything. It would just the only thing that would come out would be goo.
They would start to rupture and burst, and you would just kind of your mass would just kind of like go all over the place. Although apparently there are creatures, like there are certain frogs that freeze that can defrost, but their bodies are like built for that, and they're like spongy and flexible. But the human body is just it's weak.
I could have told you that.
Right. It's not frog quality, at least.
Not frog. Yeah, we don't got frog quality bodies. I want to bring this one up. I think this is a fun fact. I don't know if this is one you were going to bring up, John, but all the scenes with Yoda and Mark Hamill, it's quiet for the most part.
Right.
It's just Frank Oz with the puppet, moving the puppet, making it look like it's talking.
Hamill has done interviews where he's like, I was losing my mind for 6 months because all the other cast, they were hanging out and partying and it just everybody was having a great time. I was stuck on a soundstage. They had to kind of build the entire swamp kind of 6 feet off the ground. So it was me, Frank Oz, and a bunch of like Gila monsters.
One scene he has like a Yoda backpack on. Yoda's not even talking at that point. They did have though Frank Oz one day because he felt bad for Mark Hamill. He brought a Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy puppet on the set. They had a good time.
That's pretty awesome.
There are Polaroids of like Miss Piggy trying to mac on Yoda and Yoda just looking terrified. That's really incredible.
If you look at Mark Hamill looking at Miss Piggy, you can tell he's looking at her like George is looking at I mean Harrison Ford's looking at Carrie Fisher. He's just like, dude, Mark Hamill's got a shit gig. We've been fucking this whole time.
Well, little bit of trivia sets a lot of this in context. Carrie Fisher said in like years later in interviews, Harrison Ford was going through like had a bad marriage, was going through a divorce when they're making this. She's like, we were sleeping together when we were filming this movie.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Another thing that I wanted to mention is, what's that?
Art imitates life.
Yeah.
It does.
Another thing I wanted to mention that we didn't mention here, even in your opening film synopsis stuff about the movie, that you didn't mention James Earl Jones as being the voice of Darth Vader. I mean, he's not credited in the first and second one, but he is the voice of Darth Vader still, and he decided not to be credited because he didn't feel like he didn't do as much as David Prowse, who did all the acting for it and all that stuff.
Interesting. But, his most famous role by about a mile, right? Like,
yeah.
All right. I did a search online. I had to, and of course it exists. They have a Tauntaun sleeping bag you can buy for $150. Okay. This thing is made by fans for fans. If you unzip it, by the way, the zipper is a mini lightsaber, blue lightsaber, by the way.
That's
nice touch.
If you're slicing it open, and nice inside touch. It looks like entrails.
Amazing.
Or intestines or whatever. The number one question from people online for reviews on this: how does it smell on the inside? The number one response: not as bad as the outside.
What's the temperature rating on it?
It's hot, cold.
Yeah. Norway or better.
Wait, I got one. It's Leia warm, but only when you sleep in it solo.
Ooh. Lukewarm otherwise.
Somebody's been sleeping my tauntaun.
Let's kind of wrap up there. Obviously, this is a this is one of the best in the best, and it's an amazing thing to revisit, and it's a movie that has so many ideas and just kind of so many interesting details. And to really reiterate, I think something we said a bunch of times, it's crazy for me. Something not only that I have seen so many times, but it's just every single scene of this is in public consciousness, is in the zeitgeist, is in the culture, yet it's still is interesting stuff to kind of to pick up on when you kind of just come back at a different part of your life. And I think that is I think the best the best art that is made is that's the thing you can really say about it, is it ages is that it can really age and change and become something interesting, different alongside you. So Empire Strikes Back. Let's pivot to a little gift opening that we have. I was in Japan over the holidays and randomly stumbled across at the Shibuya 107, right outside the Scramble, a little basement Star Wars pop-up shop that they set up in one of like a Japan's kind of biggest department stores. They had a they had a sale on little Star Wars lucky bags, little kind of these little plastic pouches that you buy, and you get one of what looks like 13 different Star Wars figures inside of it. You can buy these lucky bags for a relatively small amount of money, or you can spend a shitload of money and get a box that has all 13 of the figures guaranteed inside of it. I thought, in conjunction with this episode, that that it would be interesting to send to each of you guys one of these little Star Wars lucky bags, and everybody can open them up on mic, and we can see who we ended up with.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah. So who would like to go first here?
Come on, Gingerbread Vader.
Go ahead, Naveen. You look
I
like
got
you're
Oh,
already
I'm
mid-
getting mad.
Like, I gotta open up the box. Sorry,
Oh, I
the
thought you
box
looked
yet.
like you were mid-open.
Oh yeah,
Struggling there?
so the box, in addition to these lucky bags, also contains some little Japanese treats, some like fruit snacks called kororo
cool.
that I'm quite fond of. Please enjoy by yourself or share with the family.
I'm not
Alright.
sharing these.
Yeah.
No
Cool.
way.
All right,
Thank you.
let's
Thank
see.
you.
Let's see what you got, Naveen.
All right. So here is the bag, and let's see what I got. And it's a tube, a toilet paper tube. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Star Wars burrito.
Whoa, it's the tube that Luke slid into
Sweet.
that he thought was a fucking water slide.
Yeah. Just what I asked for.
You got the escape. Bespin escape hatch.
15 years of Jedi training, and then there's a trapdoor.
All right. Looks like I have C-3PO with
Yeah.
the silver leg.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Interesting to know, in all of these movies, except just in all the originals and all the prequels, C-3PO, the bottom half of one of his legs is silver. It never really kind of explained until it's called. It's explicitly called out in The Force Awakens, because he kind of comes walking in and he's got like half of a red leg. Again, never really explained.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Andy, let's go to you.
All right. So I also have a tube,
Okay.
and I got
C-3PO.
wait.
It's C-3PO with the red leg.
Maybe we
I got-
interleave like oh.
Oh, awesome.
I got an Ewok,
Nice.
Ah, it's a little guy. Look at him.
and I love him. He's amazing.
Hmm.
Yep. Thank you, Johnny. Very cool.
Papa, how about yourself?
Let's see.
Are they
see.
finger puppets? Are they actually finger puppets?
Indeed.
I don't know. You can stick your finger in it.
Right.
Oh, it is. Look at that.
You can finger in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Doesn't make it a finger puppet.
Yay.
Nice.
Well,
I mean, kind of, I
that's
guess.
how hard you work.
All right, let's see what I got here. Oh God, I need Java.
I also like that these are listed as being 15 plus,
Mhm.
because a 14-year-old absolutely could not handle this.
Like just too cute.
It's too cute.
Especially you tell
Not
them it
equipped.
came from Japan, it came from Shibuya, their heart would just explode.
All right. I also got a white tube,
Okay.
and I got. What is this? This is a TIE fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sick.
What?
Nice.
Okay. Hold it closer to the camera.
So
Oh,
you're getting
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. That is a that's one of the fighter pilots, I think, like in
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. All right. We're 3 for 3, all having unique figures. Here we go.
Very nice.
And I got a little Vaz deference here.
Nice.
See what's going on. And I ended up with
The Count.
Santa Claus?
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Good pull.
When Leia says, "I'd rather kiss the Wookiee," would you?
That could be arranged.
Online, I have seen art. Amazing. I could not be happier. Chewie himself, folks.
Chewie himself.
Doing himself.
Little bandolier. Look at that.
Interesting that there's no Luke Skywalker. There's no Han Solo. There's no Princess Leia, but they have General Grievous.
They got Grievous. They got Maul. Everything else is, I think, like original trilogy. The Emperor design is like pretty sweet.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I couldn't be happier with Chewie though.
Yep, these are fun. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
One of the cool things, and again, maybe this is a random Star Wars bullshit episode we do at some point later down the line. A lot of Star Wars kind of comes from Japanese mythology. Jedi comes from like the Jedi stuff comes from like a lot of samurai culture. Darth Vader's costume design is literally taken from a 16th century Japanese warlord called Date Masamune, ruled in Sendai for like extremely long time. Had very famous, very intimidating looking all black samurai armor. You look at it and you're immediately like that's Darth Vader right there.
Yeah.
A few years ago, my fiance and I were taking a little kind of stroll through a museum in Sendai. We're there up there for a few days, and I randomly stumbled across an exhibit they had of the original Masamune sort of black samurai armor, and I completely lost my shit, like right in the middle of that random museum in Sendai. But Star Wars itself, from the generation that Spielberg and Lucas kind of came up with, like for in film school, Akira Kurosawa was really like the big hip happening thing for like a lot of kind of like American filmmakers in college from that era. So much, if you look at New Hope, is lifted very, very directly from a Kurosawa film called The Hidden Fortress, including the Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, the princess, and a very tall, kind of effete Japanese peasant, and a very short, rotund, constantly making jokes Japanese peasant that kind of followed like the young warrior around. That literally beat for beat. Lucas adapted into R2-D2 and C-3PO. So what was very kind of cool about sort of seeing that exhibit was kind of going down, looking through all like the modern kind of like sort of like the kind of the merchandise they were selling, but they also sort of have exhibits on like kind of like the Japanese historical tie-ins. And the cherry on top was they were just blasting, for whatever reason, Led Zeppelin the entire time.
Oh, nice.
That was a good afternoon.
I have tried all 3 flavors of the gummies now, and I would like to report back. First of all, I'm a sucker for a citrus candy. So
Sure.
the orange one is definitely my favorite. I have no idea what fruit this one is supposed to be.
That is green grape or muscat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one was good. The strawberry one also very good. What I will say is that this variety is, I don't know how better to describe it other than the hot dog or the sausage of candy, of gummy candy, because it has a very strange but good sort of casing around it that holds it all together.
But it's not a gusher at the same time.
It's not a gusher.
Again,
I don't know what to
kids
compare
love
these
them.
to.
I hate them. I hate the texture. It's like pruny. It's pruny, and the problem is it's like you can't just bite into it and chew it up. Like it's not a true gummy.
Right.
It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
I think they're fun. I like them.
Do you really?
Yeah, I like them. But the orange one's my favorite.
They like have some resistance when you bite them.
Yeah, they do.
Just,
It's like the sausage casing.
Right. Naveen, anything to add there?
No. I only had the one, the green one there. And it has this smell of a candy from India, so it's smelled familiar to me.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that before.
Smells like tauntaun. Fucking gross. Nobody wants to eat it.
Yeah.
Slice,
It kind of smells like super glue.
Yeah, keep huffing.
I'm buzzing, buddy. So that was our Ladies to the 80s cycle. Any final kind of closing thoughts before we kind of go on 2 months late to doing movies about sports?
I have one quick thing to say about Star Wars Empire.
Okay.
Something that I didn't bring up earlier, that I think if Disney wants to redeem themselves, do like a what if series about Star Wars. I don't know if they have, but they should do one, and they should do an episode where Luke takes up Darth Vader on them working together to take over the Empire.
Oh, so it's basically, yeah. You know what? You talked me into it.
It's when Darth Vader, he's like, join me. We can defeat the Emperor together, and then we can take over the galaxy. And I'm like, I would like to see that play out, because by that point they haven't established this guy. Look at this fucking guy. They haven't established what Leia can do. So I'm like, maybe now she's gonna go train with Yoda or something, or she'll be the Luke Skywalker and kill her brother and father. Something cool like that.
Because Yoda says there is another.
That's true. So we want to explain what Andy's doing, because he wants us to
just
share.
And Andy has just displayed his much beloved Hulk Hogan posable action figure, who just at the moment is elbow deep in his Ewok, in an Ewok puppet.
And then we can add Lando. Where is he? Is he not? Oh, there he is. There's Lando.
There's Lando. You can make anything into a finger puppet, dude.
He's like, brother, I'm not touching this.
Evidently.
Brother. 80s movies in general, any closing thoughts? I had a great time with this cycle. Pee-wee was a bit of a whiff for me, but then 3 movies that for me were really delightful. And he left.
It was his idea, and as soon as you started shitting on it, he's like, nope.
We've got 9 minutes.
I'm gonna go play with my toys.
We got 9 minutes, though.
Oh. Let's keep all of this in.
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead. You were saying?
I don't even remember.
Pee-wee was a whiff for you.
You didn't like that.
Pee-wee was just kind of like, I'm so, my brother and I talked like a little bit about it too, and I remember watching 2 episodes like of just the Saturday morning cartoon. Tim does not remember like a single solitary thing about the show whatsoever. He's like, it was just, it was outside of it was outside of kind of what we liked and what we watched. There he is.
I don't know.
Back, folks.
So much personality. Okay, the Pee-wee movie, yeah, it's one thing, but the TV show, everything's alive in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Right.
I wanted a Jambi. I wanted a Globy. Cherry's kind of creepy, but I'm down with that. I'm down with that. She likes hugs.
You'd sit on her face.
Yeah, you sit on her face. Terry, you got Penny. You got the fish.
I just have to wonder what was weirder for your parents, Eric, like watching you bury Randy in the backyard or watching you dig Randy back up.
You know what?
No.
I'm not a monster. So I forgave Randy. But he never came back into the house again.
Never came back into the house.
That's fair.
Yeah. Andy Naveen, 80s movies, final thoughts?
They're the
I
best.
was saying, yeah. This was a great cycle. I had a great time with it.
See, don't read the books. Watch the movies.
Yeah.
Do both. Be a well-rounded person.
Don't read.
Yeah.
Our next cycle, sports. Sports. Naveen,
Sports.
you picked for the next 4 movies we're going to watch. You picked sports.
Sports, the movie.
Tell us why for the next theme of the films we're going to watch for this podcast, Rebels Without a Pod, you picked the theme sports.
Because it just seems to get better and better every time you try to explain it and say something about it. You just make it better and better. And this is exactly why. Because we don't talk about sports. We're not sports guys.
Grape nuts.
Exactly. I mean, we're not sports people. I think the closest sports person we have would be Andy. But by the time we met him, he got out of that phase of that stuff. So I thought it'd just be funny. Again, we make fun of ourselves being 4 middle-aged people doing another movie podcast.
Right.
Why not be these 4 nerds who do movies about sports?
Right.
And
we almost did a sports cycle before we did Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
But you make my recommendation and my idea just so much better, Johnny. Every time you just bring it up, you're like, I'm going to hate this cycle so much. We're doing sports.
Well, I can't wait to hear Johnny's pick.
Yeah.
We already know what his pick is. I want to say this. Maybe if we're going to like lean into the sports thing, we should just take out of the introduction that we're from New England. Because I feel like you're obligated to be like a Patriots fan or like...
You're obligated to say some bullshit about some bullshit about some bullshit.
Yeah. And Dunkin' Donuts, fuck Dunkin' Donuts. It's not good.
Our fucking Lord and Savior, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The other part is, again, we weren't sports people even growing up, but I just remember there's so many great movies I loved. The Sandlot, Rookie of the Year, Unnecessary Roughness. They were sports based and themed, but
sure.
Mighty Ducks.
Fun. Mighty
All
Ducks.
the Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
Just loved them.
Our father showed my brother and I 30 minutes of Major League so many times.
Major League, exactly. That was great movies.
Yeah.
Up yours, Joe Boo. Good stuff.
Yep.
So
all right.
That's why.
Solid movie.
All right. So Naveen, let's get, what is your pick for our cycle about sports?
I am picking The Replacements.
Replacements.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I enjoyed that one. It's got starring Keanu Reeves, and it's based on I believe they call them scabs, maybe.
Yep.
Gene Hackman also in this. Am I remembering right?
I don't recall. Maybe.
I think he was.
John Favreau, I believe, is in it.
Okay.
Yep.
But basically,
Keanu, Gene Hackman, Orlando Jones.
Yeah, just
John
funny.
Favreau, Jack Warden.
There we go. Jack Warden.
Favorite Jack Warden pops on. This will be our third. This will be our third Jack Warden movie after Great Muppet Caper and Dirty Work.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We do have a theme.
Yeah. Jack Warden was dope as hell.
Yeah. So that's mine because it was just a great movie, and I want to see if it holds up as well as it did back then. But it was just great because it was what if the NFL players went on strike? What would they do? Kind of thing.
And like an entire amateur team sort of comes in to sort of like play out the rest of the season.
Right.
I've never heard of this film before, by the way.
I remember really liking this movie, Naveen. So I'm excited to watch it again.
Right.
What year was it?
97? I didn't look it up.
Okay.
2000.
2000. Oh wow.
Yeah,
2000. 90s movie.
This is really going to be like the cycle that sort of splits the full host of the show down to like the 2 normal guys and the 2 guys who have an anime spinoff.
I got to tell you, all 4 of us are going to like the role that Reese Ifans plays as the kicker. We're all going to like him.
Okay.
Oh, he was great. Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Papa, let's go to you. What's your pick for sports?
I flip-flopped. I really, really, really want to cover a movie with my favorite actor of all time, Jonathan Brandis. I wanted any excuse to do a Jonathan Brandis film. And what perfect movie than The Ladybugs with Jonathan Brandis and Rodney Dangerfield. Although I went and read reviews online, and I had to ask the question online, does it hold up? And it had 14%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes. And most people were like, it's just an excuse for Rodney Dangerfield to kind of like reemerge as like a lasting comedian. And they said most of the jokes are just like sad, shitty dad jokes, just not funny. And also the fact that Jonathan Brandis keeps wearing a wig, that's supposed to be silly. So I passed on that one. I was going to do Mr. Baseball because I remember loving that film. That's the one where
Tom Selleck played like
the Japanese team. Yeah.
That's a good
one. I remember like that one, but I said, you know what? I have to do this cycle justice. So I picked this
Mr. Destiny.
little known film called Kingpin.
Nice.
All right.
Starring Woody
you, my friend.
Harrelson.
Yeah.
Loses
Nice.
his hands in a bet with Bill Murray, where they were doing some, I guess, some illegal bowling after hours for money. And so Woody Harrelson kind of loses his career in bowling and finds Randy Quaid, who's an Amish man that enjoys bowling, and he's going to represent him. And they compete in this bowling tournament to go against Bill Murray.
I'm not qualified to weigh in here. So as part of that episode, we get to do like 40 minutes on John Popper, right?
We get to do 40 minutes making fun of you saying Bill Murray.
Well. We'll get there when we get there.
I gotta distract from the sports. So just give me this, please.
No, I am beyond relieved, my friend. Thank you for this. Andy, sports. What do you got?
So I've decided that I'm going to test out the theory that what the people really want is comedic kung fu movies based on our immediate success and lasting success with Kung Fu Hustle. And I have chosen Stephen Chow's 2001 action comedy Shaolin Soccer.
Dope.
Never seen it. Excited too.
Fucking sick movie.
Great movie.
So
I bought this one and Kung Fu Hustle as like a 2-pack on DVD at Best Buy. Best purchase I ever made.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
No question. I'm going to go with a movie that is still in theaters at the moment. I know that not everybody necessarily has like the time or the inclination to kind of go out and see this like in theaters. So if I will kind of pin this one till the end of the cycle so we can make sure that there's the option of seeing it in streaming. It's a really interesting movie. I kind of recommend if you got the time and the inclination, go check it out in theaters. This is Marty Supreme. This is a film starring Timothée Chalamet, directed by Josh Safdie. His follow-up to Uncut Gems, this movie that follows a 1950s New York City table tennis hustler who has a single crazy night to earn enough money to buy a plane ticket to Tokyo to actually play in the grand finals. This is a film that has already gotten multiple Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for Chalamet. This is a movie that I am going to see in the theater a second time. It lost me at some parts, like a little bit. It may or may not be about gig workers in 2025. There may or may not be an actual vampire in the thing. There's a lot of crazy shit that happens in this film. The intro credits are set to an animation of a bunch of sperm trying to find an egg.
I heard it was like a look who's talking kind of opening.
Yeah. This movie is nuts. I kind of liked it the first time I saw it, but like a real dominant thing in my head was just like I needed to watch this with one of my guy friends to really kind of properly assess this thing for the good or the bad of it. It may be amazing. I'm willing to kind of like consider that possibility at some point. So
I just want to say you're asking a lot of me.
Yeah.
I'm not a Timothée Chalamet fan whatsoever. I still refuse to watch Dune 2.
I have just changed. Knife fights can kind of count as sports.
I will watch this.
Sci-fi classic, even better than Empire Strikes Back.
I will watch this as long as he doesn't do underground rapping, ride fucking sandworms, or give jizz-filled peaches to his friends to eat.
He just wants to go to Japan for this movie. It's yeah.
He just wants to play ping pong. Just let the boy play ping pong. Come on, look at his face.
A lovable, skinny white boy just tries everything he can to sort of get to Japan.
You just like
you may relate. You may relate.
I want to eat some sushi and then try the local flavor. All right. I'm done. I'm done with that.
Is that what they call umami? Yeah. We've completely lost Naveen and Andy on that last little riff, so let's call it a night.
Yep.
Andy, you did not have to nod as hard as you just nodded. Gentlemen, episode 80.E, Rebels Without a Pod, latest the 80s cycle in can. Pleasure as always. We're going to get back to the normal episode numbering starting with sports. We'll figure out who kind of goes first.
Sports.
Yeah. Gentlemen, pleasure to talk to you. Pleasure as always. Talk to everybody soon.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
I know.